good, y'all? It's your boy Ace, man.
It's Kennedy.
And today we finna get beyond that bag. Hey, we appreciate y'all. Another episode. Today we got my guy Sauce here, an educator, a music artist, and an all-around great dude. Tell him a little bit about yourself, man.
So like he said, man, my name is Sauce God. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. I'm an educator. I'm an artist. I'm a creative, and I'm here for liberation through education. So teaching the children through rhythm and rhyme as well as the parents, and continuing this mission of freedom and walking that narrow path. I'm here.
That's so dope, man. I've been waiting for this episode for a long time.
Yeah.
Like getting somebody who gives back to the next generation.
Yeah.
'Cause that's so much of what I want to do. It's like super dope having you, and you actually are. Ooh, let me not knock this down. You actually are the first representation of Memphis on our pod. We got some New Yorkers, but Kennedy is from Memphis, so
I got some folks from there. I got some folks from there,
So downtown, baby, bleed blue, Memphis blue.
So I know she's excited to have you, man. Tell us a bit how you got into like education.
So my dad was a study of occult knowledge. He was into mathematics. Pythagoras was his guy. My mom, she's a dean. She's been a dean at a few different colleges. Strayer, Herzing, just some everywhere. So like my parents are educators. So it's just like I grew up within that realm. So, just growing up, schooling was just something that kind of just natural to me. And I just loved being there, learning something new every day. And then it just started to become more of a thing as I started to gain knowledge of self in other areas outside of the confines of just, the day-to-day things that we'll learn within a K through 12 educational realm. So, like, me really going deep into education didn't start until I moved to LA in like 2016. But prior to that, because my foundation is music. I'm an artist by nature. I was just doing music and traveling and stuff like that, but it wasn't until I started to go on that journey of self and just self-discovery is when education became like number one for me, you know what I'm saying? So I was out there for 3 years, from 2016 to 2019. So when I first moved to LA, I went out there for the BET Awards. Mm-hmm. I was able to perform on the side stage of the BET experience and just loved it so much we just stayed. So it was me and my childhood friend that I grew up with. And during that time, when we was out there, it was just like the women, weed, and the weather. Just them three brothers, you feel me?
Yeah.
It's like, man, I'm home, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to go back, So we just figured it out, and I was just telling somebody else about this, but one of the first places I stayed when I was in LA was Koreatown. Mm-hmm. And it was the camaraderie, it was the community. It was my first time I learned about nepotism. And that really empowered me to learn more about why that wasn't in our neighborhoods. Because I'm from Memphis. Everything in our neighborhoods, the chinks own it. You know what I'm saying? People come into it, take from it, don't give back to it. And I never seen people like me that own things. Mm-hmm. The only people I seen that looked like me were the rappers and the drug dealers and, the pimps and things of that nature. So I naturally just went along that path, Mm-hmm. So it wasn't until I was able to see outside of that hog pen that I was raised in that I wanted more for myself. So that's when the education really kicked in.
Okay, that's dope. That's an amazing story. So talking about your music, mm-hmm. When you started to feel that shift, like you started to go on that journey yourself, did you feel a shift in the content of the music that you were making?
So yeah, that was one of the first things. So one of the first books I read was, and my grandma gave it to me, God bless her soul. So it was a book called House Nigga, Politics of Oppression, Politics of Oppression. So it was about a author in Memphis. His name is Dr. Isaac Richmond, and he teaches about how religion used house nigga leadership to keep us in our situation, to keep us self-perpetuating slaves, right? So as time progressed and us in the younger generation moved a little bit more away from religion, there were other things where house nigga leadership started to take its place, and one of those main things was within the music, right? So I had to see how I was being a house nigga to my people. How the music that I was making was leading my people down the path of destruction. So I had to be accountable for that, you know, and then I had to make that shift because I understood that words create worlds, and what I was creating and being more conscious and cognizant of that because of the reverberation of that. So, yeah.
So what do you think about, because I know you said how you kind of shifted, you know, the music that you make. What impact do you think the music has on our generation? Because I hear a lot of people say our generation is out of control, like, you know, these YNs is getting crazy. Do you think that really is putting a heavy impact? And if so, like, what's a good way to get around that, or people that you recommend so they can get out of that loop?
So I feel like all is relevant because when I was growing up, I was big on 3-6 Mafia. I was big on Project Pack. I was big on Yo Gotti. I was big on Jeezy. I was big on all of these people. And, you know, they may not have been, you know, as rebellious as the YNs are today.
So they're definitely out of control.
Yeah, it's another level. It's another level for sure. But it's not too far. I'm not too far removed from it that I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we're shifting as a people. We're quantum leaping into this 5D. We're going from 3D to 5D. So there has to be a rebellion, a revolution, so that old systems are torn down and new systems can take its place. So I love the energy that you all have. You feel me? I love how you all make your own way. You know what I'm saying? And are so authentic, and not only authentic, just courageous. You know what I'm saying? Because we come from a time where like our parents were timid, they were shy, they were docile, they were passive, you know, and you all are coming with this energy that's like fuck it, you know, but as long as it's given direction, that's why the whole thing for the school, because as long as there's guidance to it, then we can use it to our advantage versus using it to our degradation. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like it's misplaced anger. You know, it's misplaced skill and talent. But I love it though. You know what I'm saying? Because I was once in that seat of self, and look what it did for me. You know, because you got to go through to get to. You know, there's it's the yin and yang of life. Like, a lot of people haven't even gone through anything or experienced certain things, so they're not even able to alchemize their energy to get to a higher state of self. So I would say that, you know, the younger generation is doing things right now that later on will be the catalyst to where we're headed as a people. And I feel like where we're headed as a people is communal, but it's more individualized. And honoring people's individuality is so key, you know, and not silencing people and not shunning people away just because of the way that they're acting based upon their environment. You know, because I know that I'm not gonna blame the person for the environment that they're placed in. I'm going to blame the environment. I know the culprit of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not the children, it's the institution. So that's the whole reason for creating the school. You know what I'm saying? So new institutions can take their place.
Yeah, that's so dope, and that's part of my passion to be in some form of education when I grow up, is that I grew up in a place where I felt like I saw some of the most talented people in the world. Like, growing up with, like, I looked at them and I was like, damn, you have so much talent with no guidance. And so, like, you having a school and being able to guide some of that talent is an amazing way to give back. It's something that I commend, and I can do nothing but respect. Because, like, there was, like, a famous quote that I used to think about all the time. It was like, when you go into black neighborhoods, you see more liquor stores and you see grocery stores. Like, you see, like, you go to these nice places, you don't see a liquor store for miles, but you see a liquor store on every corner.
Every single one.
In some of these inner cities, and that's, like, what they put around us and what they condition us to. So, like, it's big on what you say, like, don't blame the person, blame the circumstance that they was brought up into. So that's something I can relate to very much.
Yeah, for sure.
That's definitely true. Like you said, like liquor stores, even when it comes to fast food, they're food deserts. They're literally food deserts.
Yeah.
And wonder why people are, they do what they do. They have to eat too. I mean, whenever I go to my grandma's house in Memphis, for instance, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna go to Planet Fitness. Bro, the closest Planet Fitness was 30 minutes. And that was just the first gym.
That's real shit.
Grocery store, 15, 20 minutes. It was like,
but it's like Save-A-Lots. It's like Super Lows. It's no, you know what I'm saying? It's like no Whole Foods.
Nothing.
No farmers markets. Not in our immediate neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? You got to drive out to actually get to those things.
If you have a car.
It's all about design.
Yeah. So like I do commend you for giving back and doing the things that you do for kids. Kind of go deeper into like what do you do for the people, like actually what you teach.
Okay, cool. So the school is founded upon rhythm and rhyme. So we teach knowledge of self to children and their parents: astrology, biology, quantum physics, divine mathematics, agriculture. They learn how to grow their own food. Like some of everything.
Yeah, like they become full people.
Yeah. And then like we do extracurricular activities, trap chi, which is Tai Chi, the hip hop instrumentals, Memphis Jukin. I'm sure you know what Memphis Jukin is. So so like it's like a real rounded thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's online and in person. We do have a physical location here in Atlanta. We'll be opening our doors next year in January. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like coming 2026.
Yeah.
So it's about a month away from that.
Oh, that's what's up.
I'm excited for that. Are you doing like a grand opening or anything like that?
Yep. So we'll make an announcement. It's gonna be on the 1/11/2026.
So we got some.
Yeah.
That sounds like we got something to do.
We got something to do.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I'll pull up. That'd be dope.
Definitely show some love. Do something for the kids.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Make it an event worthwhile, because that's something that I feel like we don't do enough in our communities. Like a large part of what we deal with is conditioning, like you say, but also what I always tell people is I feel like when you don't know no better, you have no responsibility over the actions or choices that you make. So like you being a kid, you growing up in those situations, you don't know no better, and I feel like there becomes a certain point in times where you learn better, or you can understand that what you do is wrong. Like once you get to a certain age or a certain point in your life, because it's not necessarily age, but like when you decide that you can know better, that's when you can make the decision to do better. So it's just about like, what do we celebrate? Because there's people who know better and they still celebrate the things that are tearing down our neighborhood. So something like this, I really want to make sure everybody puts their thought, their minds, their well wishes, their congratulations, donations, support behind something that's actually building up our community and not tearing it down.
Yes, for sure. So with the school, we're about to with the relaunch, we're relaunching Alchemy Adventures, and that's what these books right here are from the curriculum that we'll be teaching for the first 3 months. So basically, what Alchemy Adventures is, it's an interactive game for children and their parents. So it takes them out of the seat of externalizing their superheroes and then puts them in the driver's seat of becoming the superhero of their own life. So like for instance, this first book right here is called Alchemy Adventures. This is the first book in the series. So if you open the book, as soon as you open the book, you got a picture of my pops right there. Tris McGistis. Just that is dedicated to him because, like I was telling you, he was an educator and a study of occult knowledge. Now, when you get right here, you scan this QR code and it takes you to the virtual reality that this whole course is steeped in. So you meet the professors, you meet the staff, and you go on the crash course of orientation, and it tells you about alchemy. So basically what alchemy is it's the process of transforming lead into gold or turning a negative into a positive. I'm sure y'all are familiar with like Harry Potter, right? And the Sorcerer's Stone that found the Philosopher's Stone and all of those things, that all came from ancient Kemetic knowledge. So Kemet is the birthplace of alchemy, and it's also the place where what we study today, chemistry, it gets its origin from. So studying chemistry is studying black magic, because that's what this is. And what we're doing is taking education back, right? Because education has been Hellenized through Greco-Roman eyes. You know, even right now, I'm just celebrating December, right? Well, we know the prefix dec, like a decade means what? What's a decade?
10 years.
10 years, but December is the what?
12 months.
How did that happen? No.
Wait, he eating right now though, cause how did that happen?
Hold on, Nove is what? Like a supernova.
Supernova, yeah.
What's Nove? What's the prefix for Nove? That's 9.
Okay.
But November is the what?
The 11th.
Like octagon is what?
8. So it's +2. Everything's +2.
So what happened is
crazy. I never thought about that.
July and August were implemented. So they Hellenized the calendar because Julius Caesar was like, I don't need my own month. Then Augustus Caesar was like, fuck it, I want my own month too. You know what I'm saying? So this is we get July and August. So it threw our whole like calibration off, right? Okay. So now we're celebrating New Year when everything's dead outside. When we're really supposed to be celebrating it in spring, when the spring equinox in March.
See, so that's the 2 months behind.
That's the resurrection of the sun, the S-U-N. But we celebrate Easter, which is the resurrection of Jesus, the Son of God. Yeah, it's all veneration of the S-U-N.
And you know, when you talk about what you talk about, it touches me so much because my family's actually practices the Kemetic religion. So my name is Kemetic, like my first name, and most people don't even know my first name.
What's your first name?
I ain't gonna air it out. It's up to you.
I'll say it for the pod. My first and middle name is Honora Akuaki.
Oh,
so it means
okay.
The light of my hands, and I've never ever said that like.
Oh, you been tapped in. That's how this even happened, bro. Okay.
So when you talk about like Kemet and like ancient Egyptian culture and black magic, a lot of people don't even know about that. So I'm just glad to see somebody actually spreading it and you know giving it to other people. But what I'm so excited about you is because I learned it growing up, but I learned it from my elders. And I learned it in a way that was like the most boring way to learn it. And that's why I'm not tapped into it today. Is I didn't have somebody teaching it to me in rhymes and nice books and QR codes. So the fact that you can do that is super dope. You make it relatable for the kids, and that's fire to give people a different perspective on the world. So
yeah, that's what it's all about, man. It's all about what are we doing today? What are the hieroglyphics of the day? What are the writings on the wall today? Because we have a duty to do that, right? Yeah. And by stepping into your creativity and living authentic throughout that, you become God in human form. You know, and a lot of times we've been suppressed from that because we've been told to externalize and look at things outside of ourselves and then mirror that versus finding our own way. That's why I said I commend y'all because y'all been finding y'all own way. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's it. Like no one can tell you how to be you. You know, people can give you suggestions and guidance and, you know, they can give you advice and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, you got to live for you. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what y'all doing this podcast, even when you came to me and planting, you was telling me about the podcast. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I love it. You feel what I'm saying? I was like, man, I got to make it my business to come and break bread with you because, bro, it was just how excited you was about it and the vision that you had for it, and then to actually see you in motion. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, man, I want to be a part of that success story because I see where it's going. You know what I'm saying? And I know, like, when I was starting stuff out, how I wanted somebody to be there and support me. You know what I'm saying? Support, yeah, so it's like the reciprocity of all of it. It's like, man, I'm pulling up. So
I appreciate that. We were really excited to have you on too. It's crazy. Yeah. That's dope. But with that, right, so I know you explained your first book. Can we hear a little bit about your second book as well?
Yeah, for sure. So after you finish the first book, let me just finish up talking about the first book. So the first book, you learn alchemy. So after you learn alchemy and you learn about the principal truths, which is salt, mercury, and sulfur, Then you go on and you learn the Hermetic laws. So the Hermetic laws was given to us by Tahuti. And Tahuti is the Lord of the scribes, or he's credited with everything literal. So everything writing comes from him. Hieroglyphics, writing, music, all of that, it comes from Tahuti. And he gives us the Hermetic laws, which is the laws of the universe. So they have to learn the laws of the universe before they start to learn the 9 different schools of magic, because with great power comes great responsibility. So that's what this second book is about, the laws. It has a song to go along with it so they can learn the laws. And then next is they tap into the magic. And then I got all the books too. I'll show y'all some of them. But it's like abjuration, which is protective spells. Conjuration, which is working with nature spirits. Necromancy, which is like ancestor veneration and working with the dead. Divination, which you go into like your clairs, your clairvoyance, your clairaudience, your claircognizant, your clairaliens, things of that nature. Then you go into arithmancy, arith meaning the prefix arithmetic, and then mancy is divination by the use of, so it's math, it's using numerology and things of that nature to be able to divine one's life. So it's just so many different things that you are equipped with in order to become the ultimate alchemist.
You know, I just want to say, because I know we didn't finish though, or did we finish the whole second book, or was there more to the book?
It's so much more.
I believe it. I know there's more. But I just want to say, like, I believe you really, truly did find your path, because you're really great at teaching. Like, we always say on this podcast, let's say they're 15, 16, 14, you're watching, what can you tell them to actually take away? And you could not know anything that he's talking about, and I swear the way you're explaining is perfect. Like, you're going to do great as a full-time teacher or part-time, however you decide to do it, but you're doing a great job with the work that you're putting out. Like, you're very clear what you say. It's very, I don't know how to explain it. Like, everything this podcast was built on when it comes to each one teach one, you're doing just that. So I appreciate you being here explaining your books, dude. Like, that's dope.
I show. So, yeah, man, I go just a little bit into it. So, like,
ready.
So let's just go through the Hermetics. So the first universal law is mentalism. The law of mentalism, this is like when you daydream about your favorite ice cream flavor, and then, surprise, that's what you have for dessert. Or when you think of a fun game and suddenly you're playing it with your friends. It's all about how powerful your thoughts are. So this is the mundane way of explaining mentalism. Mentalism states that all is the mind. So our mindset and our thoughts create our reality. Everything is based upon perception. So in quantum physics, there's something called the observer's effect. And with the observer's effect, it says that everything exists in a wave of potential. Everything's moving, nothing is still. But when we observe it, the wave collapses and gives us the illusion that what we're looking at is solid. But everyone has a different perception of what it is that you're looking at. That's why you can see a movie, you can see a movie, I can see a movie. And we have so many different things that we get from it, right? So that's what makes you that all-seeing eye, right? Because your thoughts and your perception is telling you what you're seeing. So you change your mind, you change your reality. That's mentalism. The second law is the law of correspondence. It says that as above, so below, as within, so without. So basically, everything that's happening on heaven is happening here on earth. So that's why when we look at the seasons and we looking at astrology and all of these different things, they are not only telling us what's happening within the physicality, but it's also happening within our lives. So just like right now, it's December, right? And we're in Sagittarius season. Sagittarius season deals with travel. And a lot of people travel around this time. You know what I'm saying? It deals with adventure, going on great escapades. And also, when we're looking at December, in December, we have what is called the winter solstice, which is the shortest day of the year, December 21st. So on December 21st, what they say is the sun, it sits still and it's hidden behind its southern crux. And it says that it dies on the cross for 3 days and it rises on the third day on December 25th. and that's when we celebrate the birth of Jesus, right? But like I told you, it all goes back to the sun. It's all us talking about the as above, so below. Yeah. Understanding that we're all pieces of the sun having this human experience. So that's the as above, that's correspondence. Then law 3 is the law of polarity. Now, law 3 is the law of vibration. Like I was saying, everything is moving, nothing is still. And based upon your vibration determines what it is that you will experience at any given time. So it's just like when you turn on the radio station. You know what I'm saying? The frequency that it's tuned to. That's the law of vibration.
Okay.
You know? And then law 4 is the law of polarity, and just saying that everything has its polar opposites. Then you go into law of rhythm. It says that everything moves. The measure of the swing to the left is the measure of the swing to the right. So everything has its ups and its downs. Then the next law is cause and effect. You know, and then the next law is the law of gender. So just like different laws, and with these laws, you understand how everything moves on whatever dimension of existence that you're on. So it allows you to not only be accountable for what it is that you're doing, but it also allows you to be a co-creator of your reality when you know these laws by heart.
That's deep. So
that is deep.
So with all the teaching and the things that you do, what's the point that you want to get to one day? If there was like what's the point where you feel like that's the goal? I know there is no end goal because you want this to be something that's evolution, something that, you know, breeds evolution and keeps going. But like, what's like a point where you say like, you can really feel like you want to get to like a 10-year mark, a 5-year mark, or something like that. You see in your future. So
the overall goal for the school is a self-sufficient village with an inner economy that spins on its own axis. So we create our own and we control our own. So not only having our own school, having our own government, having our own farms, having our own grocery stores, having our own community, like having our own transportation system, having our own irrigation system, like all of those things. So that's like the end goal, to have our own cities,
our own community,
just
built for us,
by us. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically the goal.
That's super dope.
That's dope because it's crazy. A lot of people don't know that there were so many of those, especially here in Atlanta, that got taken over, covered, hidden. Like, for instance, Lake Lanier. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
The whole thing is on top of a black city that was very successful. So that's dope that you said that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of people are focused on like self-success, but not, you know, people like us all being successful. A lot of people our age, individuality, like you said. With that, that's actually putting forth like that first, second, third, fourth step to where, okay, what is going to be left for my kids when they come, you know what I mean, and generations after that. So that's dope that you said that. Like, I definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, because we got, the thing about it is, just look at the economy and everything that's going on right now. Like, we have to be able to create something substantial for us to be able to put, like you said, the children and the legacy and the people that we're leaving behind in a position to be their greatest selves. You know, that's how we get back into our hierarchy of who it is that we've come here to be, you know, which is the protectors of this planet, you know, and how we do that is becoming more responsible in what we're doing and who we're doing it for.
That's dope. I like that.
Yeah, that's super, super fire. It's just being able to support the community and build your own things. Like you said, Lake Lanier, what I thought of when you was talking about that, I thought of Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Black Wall Street.
Black Wall Street. So there's a bunch of instances of Black history where we were able to, you know, come together to build something. And I was having a conversation with a coworker a while ago, and she was wondering, like, she was just like, I just wonder why we can't get back to that.
Yeah.
Like what's stopping? And so what my theory was is, the biggest thing that I see, at least in the Black community, or just in the world in general, what has been taught to us and put forth to us is one, greed. Greed that you need more than you actually do need to survive or to be happy. And two, a level of selfishness, not being able to put the idea of community or other people above what your perfect life could be. How do you feel about that? And like, what do you think is the thing that stops that from being a thing?
That's a great analysis. I like what you came up with. For me, it was the lack of education.
That too, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the thing about it is we are in a position where self-hatred is like the number one cause of everything that's going on. And we hate ourselves because we don't know ourselves. You know, and we've been told what to think versus how to think. You know, so the thing about it is, if I know how to grow the food, then I don't need to pay for the food.
That's true. Everything was free at a point. That actually comes across my mind a lot. Like, we should be able to grow our own food. Like, I shouldn't have to pay $20 for a salad. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy.
So it's the education. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like because right now information is king. You know what I'm saying? Because if I can get to the water, if I know where the water is at, once I get to it, I can bottle it and then I can sell it, right?
Yeah.
So that's just like, it's the key to it all. It's the key to it all. Plus, and if I know the information, if I know exactly how you gonna move and when you gonna move and why you gonna move the way you gonna move, then I can put certain things as suggestions in your way so that you can move more towards that thing. Yeah. You ever been talking about something and then on your phone it come up as a suggestion or you know what I'm saying, the burger?
That's how
right? What the fuck? It's because they're studying us through the information that we're giving it. That's why Instagram and all these other places are free. You feel what I'm saying? Because information is king.
Yeah, the more information you have, the more you can do with it.
So the education leads to liberation.
And so the question that we typically ask our guests, one of the main questions we ask is like, if there was somebody younger than you wanting to do what you do, what would you tell them? But you already communicate with education so much. I want to switch the question up a little bit today. And I want to ask you, what would you tell the people who don't believe?
Oh my gosh, that was a great question. Oh my gosh.
The thing about it is, and I go to this quote. It's in the Bible. It says that never throw pearl to swine because they'll trample it in the mud. You know, so it's just basically saying that those jewels and those gems to the people who don't believe, it's going to be like.
Y'all, we got to hear from a very special guest. Sauce, I appreciate you coming out.
I appreciate y'all for having me, for sure.
Of course. Is there any Instagrams, anything? We'll have your Instagram. Anything you want to shout out just for people to look up before we go?
So yeah, if you're interested in becoming a part of the School of Sauce, definitely tap the link in the description. Apply your interest today. We are relaunching in January. It's online. It's fully online, but we are going to have a physical location here in Atlanta, and we will be doing events at least once a month. So that means that you can tap in from anywhere in the world. Thank y'all. You can follow us at The School of Sauce on Instagram. Our website is www.theschoolofsauce.com. Email info@theschoolofsauce.com. Everything at theschoolofsauce.com.
Hey, I know that's right. Well, y'all, we do appreciate you. And, it's Kennedy, man.
It's Ace, man. And today, we just went
beyond that bag. We out.